Born May 4th, 1949 in Bell Gardens, California, he is a 16-time NHRA and one-time AHRA Funny Car champion, 22-time champion car owner. He drives for the team that bears his name. He is the most dominant drag racer in the sport with 156 career victories. This weekend, he makes his way to New England for the New England Nationals. We are honored to be joined by the legend himself, John Force. John, welcome to the show. How are you tonight?
Hey, I'm good. Thanks for having me on. We're excited with NHRA Drag Racing to come there and be able to pitch on your show. We love the New England area. We'll be staying in Manchester, but we draw out of Boston. We draw from everywhere and Canada. So that makes it a great race, makes great crowds, and records can be set there. It's a great racetrack.
Can't wait for it for sure. One of the first questions I always like to ask our guests is, and this is probably an easy one for you, but how did you catch the racing bug, John?
As a kid, I grew up in a trailer house, in a trailer court, and the first thing you wanted to do was get away from them 5 brothers and sisters and get on your motorcycle, and as soon as I got a car, it was get on the car and get out of Dodge. And Dodge, that was not a Dodge plug. I drive for Chevrolet. Okay, but in the middle of it, just loved cars, and just ended up in drag racing as a young kid in high school and moved on. It took me a lot of years, but I made it. So I've got 16 championships. I got 22 as a team owner. I got I drive the Pete Chevrolet Funny Car, Austin, and I'm third in the points with NHRA. Just moved up last week, runner-up in Chicago. But Austin Brock was in the lead, got bumped to second. He drives for Auto Club, so he's going to be real fast. And my daughter Brittany drives the Monster Energy, and she was testing. We tested in Indy last week, right before the Indy 500. I went there because my daughter's husband, Courtney's husband, Graham Rahal, was in the Indy 500. So we've been on the road. We've been busy, but we're getting ready to come there. So looking forward to it.
So you did mention the Northeast and visiting up here in Manchester and Boston as well. Is there any particular things you like about Manchester, or a place you have to go when you're up in New England here to just get a good bite to eat or anything like that?
I got excited when you just announced that pizza house. You're going to have to give me the address. I'm going to have to find it. But what was the name? Let's give them another plug.
Emma's Pub and Pizza, located in Bridgewater, Mass., Route 104 in downtown Bridgewater. Great spot. Fantastic friend of the show as well.
Bridgewater, and let me tell you something. I love pizza. So I'll have to find my way there. But, we like the town. The fans are great. They're very, every ticket's a pit pass with NHRA. We call it P.T. Barnum. We're like the big circus that comes to town and puts up the tent. And we go racing at 330 miles an hour and in less than 4 seconds. And it's just exciting stuff. Get autographs from the drivers, and we have men and women driving in this sport. My daughter Brittany's proof of that, and others. So it's just exciting. But the food, we love the East Coast. We love the food, and just the way the people treat us. It's great, and we look forward to being there.
Hey, John, this is Paul. I met you one time in 1995 at a racing show out here in Springfield, Massachusetts. And I was a young kid racing, and I had a car on the show, and you were there signing autographs. And you actually came over and you looked at the car because we had built this brand new car, and it's a little open wheel midget race car with a wing on it that we race on pavement out here. And I remember you looked at it and you looked at me and you said, I said, hey, you want to drive this thing? And you told me I'm not crazy enough to drive that thing. And
I still say it. I drive funny cars because I know how to handle them. And you hinted at my age. You said I was born in 1949, turned 75 a few weeks ago. But race car does the running for me. But no, I know my car. I could drive it blindfolded. You know what I mean? And sometimes when you're on fire, you are blindfolded. So, but I love all kinds of racing. Tony Stewart's come into our sport, and he come from round dirt track racing and stuff like that, and those are the very cars you're talking about. So we're excited to have him here, and just all the stars of NHRA will be there in Top Fuel, in Funny Car, in Pro Stock, Pro Mod, I mean, anything you love will be there. Get an autograph, bring mom and dad, get grandpa and grandma off the couch. That's me, so I can say it. But it's the greatest show on earth. And Nitro Fire belching out the pipes. And great food there on the location, and bathrooms and grandstands. The people will love it.
There's a local guy around here who is rumored to be building one of these cars. He lives over here in Weymouth. His name's Dana. You know anything about that guy?
Don't. Only guy I know of from that side of the world is Bobby Tasca. He'll be driving for Ford. I'm with Chevy. I used to be with the Tasca family. They're great people, and he's running for the championship. But no, I don't know the individual you're talking about.
John, you got your 153rd Wally in 2021 up here. What'll it take to get your 157th this weekend?
Well, I thought I had 157. Maybe I only got 156. But and I've got 3 AHRA championships, not one. So my guy gave you some wrong information. But bottom line, I love racing. I love being part of it. Daniel Hood, my son-in-law, runs my car. It's fast right now, and all I got to do is do my job as a driver and want to get another win. I was able to. Hagen took me out in the final. Another great racer. Races with Tony Stewart, but got beat. But I was able to move up to third, and we'll just see where it goes this weekend. My daughter Brittany, driving for Monster Energy, and we got Cornwell Tools, we got GHX, we got Off-Road Campers. We got so many people with us, sponsors. I'm very fortunate to have them all. I pitch the sponsors just like you do. So. But that's what keeps us out here on the road, and we'll just see how the weekend goes.
John, you said records could be broken in Epping this weekend. Do different drag strips race differently? Are some faster? Are some favorites different? How does that really translate to how you work your car?
Well, preparation is really important. I focus on driving the car like Brittany and Austin Prock, but the crew chiefs that run the car, I have Daniel Hood as the lead. I have Cunningham. I have Fabrizi, people that make all the calls, with clutches and starting line. But the track is very critical, and then you got to watch the weather. We told it's going to be cool up there, which allows you to make a lot of power, and then you got to adapt it to the racetrack. NHRA, if the track is prepped right, if weather didn't come in and damage it, where we got to get runs on it to make these cars run faster, maybe with good air. And a good race surface, maybe someone will set a record and a track record. So I hope that'll be one of my cars.
So, John, talk about the, NHRA. They shortened you guys down because they said you're going too fast, and now you guys are going faster than ever. Where's the limit? How much faster can you guys go?
Well, when we go back, our sport goes back almost 75 years in NHRA. And the sport was around before that. But, the cities have grown up around us. Our tracks, we had to shorten them. Some of the categories still run the quarter mile. We run the 1,000-foot because at speeds, when you start running, we could be running 350 right now if they turn the sloughs. But my daughter ran 338. Robert Height ran 338. So, and other drivers have too. And it's a matter. They got to slow us down. They built safety areas, shut-off areas, to keep the drivers safe, keep them out of trouble. But yet, every time you take a drag racer and slow him down, he figures out how to go faster. Who knows where it'll end up? It'll get to 350 someday, probably. Wow. And I know they don't want that because it's just a safety thing.
You've mentioned your daughters, and what's it mean like to be such a family affair for John Force Racing?
Well, my oldest daughter, AHRA, she runs the business. She handles the money. That's what she never had interest in driving. She has her own band and stuff and record label. But then Ashley came along, and she wanted to drive. She drove a funny car, won races, did a great job. The fans loved her. Then Brittany went off to be a school teacher because they all came up in the ranks in Super Comp and A Fuel and all of that. But Brittany went around Courtney went around her and went to Funny Car. So we had 2 of the girls driving funny cars, and all winning, doing great jobs, in the top 10, all of that. And then Brittany decided to come back and run Top Fuel a year later, and she loves school teaching, being with the kids, but she wanted to be out on that track with her sister. So we've evolved that way, and we're a racing family. My AHRA's daughter, Robert Hyde's daughter, Autumn, is living in Indy, going to college, but she's driving super comps now, and maybe in the future, if she chooses, she'll move up to A Fuel and then maybe to the pros. You don't know what the kids are going to do. They got to do what their dreams are, but that's their mom and dad's choice to deal with their own children, like I did with mine. But then Ashley, my daughter, and her husband Daniel Hood, that's my crew chief, his 2 boys, Jacob and Noah, I think they're 10 and 8. They're driving, the kids' junior dragsters. Even got Jacob in a funny car a few weeks ago. Did a big old wheel stand, stood the front end up. Had to put a wheelie bar on it. But now they love it, but they love playing hockey too and other sports. So we'll just see where it goes in the future. I'm not a grandpa. Everyone says I pushed my daughters. The opportunity was there, and they took it. And if any of the other family wants, if I'm still around, I want to be able to help.
He's going to be up in New Hampshire this coming weekend, New England Dragway, New England Nationals. We've been joined by the legendary John Force himself. And, John, we are looking forward to seeing you up at New England Dragway. I'll be up there Sunday.